In the 19th century, one man rose from the hills of Ekiti to challenge the might of Ibadan, the dominant power of the Yoruba world. His name was Fabunmi of Okemesi, a fearless warrior, a cunning strategist, and the spark that ignited one of the greatest wars in Yoruba history, the Ekiti-Parapo War. But who was Fabunmi? What made him defy an empire that seemed invincible? And how did his bravery change the destiny of a people? Stay with us as we journey into the life, battles, and legacy of Fabunmi Okemesi, the warrior who defied the Ibadan Empire. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us on this journey into Africa's untold histories. Born in the small town of Okemesi in present-day Ekiti State, Fabunmi grew up in a world dominated by the military might of Ibadan. After the collapse of the old Oyo Empire, Ibadan had risen as the unrivaled power, feared across the Yoruba nation. Through conquests and diplomacy, Ibadan imposed its authority, collecting heavy tributes and demanding loyalty from surrounding towns. But in Okemesi, resentment brewed. Fabunmi, a young man of courage and fiery spirit, quickly distinguished himself as a warrior. Trained in the arts of war, he earned respect not just for his bravery, but for his determination to resist injustice. One incident would forever change his destiny. In 1878, during a festival in Okemesi, an Ibadan officer insulted and mistreated Fabunmi's wife. Enraged, Fabunmi drew his sword, and in a single stroke, killed the officer. This act of defiance would ignite a war that shook the Yoruba nation. The killing of Ibadan's officer was more than a personal act. It was a declaration of rebellion. Fabunmi rallied his people, declaring that the oppression of Ibadan must end. His call for freedom resonated across Ekiti and beyond. Soon, other towns joined his cause. This marked the beginning of the Ekiti-Parapo War, a coalition of Ekiti towns, Ijesa warriors, and allies who rose against Ibadan. Fabunmi emerged as a leading commander, admired for his boldness and vision of liberation. But Ibadan was not a foe to underestimate. With a vast army of professional warriors, battle-tested generals, and decades of dominance, they would stop at nothing to crush the rebellion. For years, battles raged between Ibadan and the Ekiti-Parapo alliance. Fabunmi led fierce charges, ambushes, and daring raids that shook Ibadan's confidence. Though not the most powerful general in terms of numbers, his courage inspired thousands to join the resistance. The war spread across the Yoruba nation, drawing in allies and shifting the balance of power. The British, watching from the coast, would eventually intervene, but not before countless lives were lost. Though Fabunmi fought valiantly, the war dragged on, testing the unity of the coalition. Leadership disputes arose, resources thinned, and betrayal lurked within the ranks. Yet, Fabunmi remained steadfast, a symbol of defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. The Ekiti-Parapo War eventually ended in 1886 with a treaty brokered by the British. Though not an outright victory, the resistance weakened Ibadan's stranglehold and reshaped Yoruba politics forever. The dream of independence had been lit, and Fabunmi's defiance became legend. Fabunmi of Okemesi is remembered today as more than a warrior. He was the spark of freedom, the man who dared to say no when others bowed. His courage laid the foundation for future struggles for justice and autonomy. Fabunmi Okemesi's story is not just about battles, it's about resistance, courage, and the power of one man's stand against oppression. His defiance reminds us that history is shaped not only by empires, but by those who refuse to bow to them. If you enjoyed this journey into the story of Fabunmi Okemesi, the warrior who defied the Ibadan Empire, then make sure to subscribe to our channel for more epic stories of African history. Leave a comment below. Do you think Fabunmi's rebellion was worth it? We'd love to hear your thoughts.